esittelee sinulle mahtavan uutuuden Starmopin. Starmopilla peset ja kuivaat lattianpinnat samanaikaisesti todella tehokkaasti. Starmopin erinomaisuus perustuu sen mahtavaan imutehoon. Nyt voit unohtaa kaikki vanhanaikaiset sienimopit ja katso kuinka helposti korjaat tämänkin sotkut. Vedät vain Starmoppia lattia pitkin kääntämällä sitä välillä ympäri. Myös erilaiset soseet ja vauvaruuat puhdistuvat kertapyyhkäisyllä ja lattialle pudonnut jäätelö hoituu kuin itsestään. Unohda jauhon ja hiekan siivous harjan avulla. Starmoppi imee itseensä kaiken lian ja lattiapinta on jälleen kauniin puhdas. Kuten huomaat, Starmoppi soveltuu myös ikkunoiden puhdistukseen. Pesee ja kuivaa samanaikaisesti. Suihkun jäljiltä kylpyhuoneen lattia jää usein liukkaaksi ja märäksi. Starmopilla kuivaat sen hetkessä. Hyvän imukykynsä ansiosta Starmoppi imee esimerkiksi kaatuneen punaviinin matolta vain painamalla moppi alas punaviinitahran päällä. Lattian pesun yhteydessä käytä pesuainetta aivan normaaliin tapaan. Starmoppi soveltuu erinomaisesti kaikille lattiapinnoille. Ja tässä testissä huomaat Starmopin ilmiömäisen imutehon. Se imee kaiken nesteen itseensä, eikä valu. Katso kuinka helppoa on Starmopin käyttö. Vedä varressa olevasta kahvasta sormella ylöspäin ja kaikki ylimääräinen lika ja vesi puristuu pois eikä jää valumaan. Soita ruudussa näkyvään numeroon ja tilaa Starmoppi nyt hintaan 195 markkaa. Hinta sisältää vaihtosienen. Soita heti ja tilaa kotiisi ostoslinjalta Starmoppi. Nyt on taas kevätsiivouksen aika. Näin helppoa on siivous Starmopilla. Starmoppi soveltuu erinomaisesti myös ikkunoiden pesuun. Uskomattoman imutehonsa ansiosta Starmoppi imee itsensä jopa matolle kaatuneen punaviinin. Vedät vain kahvasta ja kaikki ylimääräinen vesi ja lika puristuu pois eikä jää valumaan. Starmoppi imee kaiken nesteen ja lian itseensä. Starmopilla kevätsiivous on todella helppoa. Soita nyt ruudussa näkyvään numeroon ja tilaa ostoslinjalta Starmoppi hintaan 195 markkaa. Pakettiin kuuluu Starmopin lisäksi myös vaihtosieni. Soita heti.
Tahtoisitko napata mahtavia vonkaleita?
Got him. Whoa! Oh, there he is. Dun, dun,
Kunnon häijyjä körmöniskoja, oikeita ennätyskaloja.
How big is that fish?
That is
22 pounds.
wow, is he ever a pretty one? Look at that fish.
Nyt sinäkin voit pyydystää unelmiesi kalan. Palkintoluokan ahvenia, haukia, lohia tai mitä kaloja pyydätkin mereltä tai sisävesistä.
What is it? It's a fishing system that has fishermen taking limit catches all across North America. And it's not just one lure. It's a 4-lure set specifically designed to deliver no matter what the fishing condition. Top water or for suspended fish. Skeptical? So were these fishermen.
Boy, what a nice fish. Look at the size of that head.
Is that something, huh?
I fished my whole life, and I've caught a lot of fish, but for the amount of time that I have spent fishing, I've caught more fish per, I'll say minutes. I won't say hours. I'll say minutes fish with this one particular lure than anything else I've ever used.
How could that thing ever work here in the Columbia Gorge? But it does.
You know, I've fished all my life, and I've caught more than most. But I've never landed so many hogs in such little time than I have with these electronic lures by Vortex. That's right, electronic. You've never seen anything like them because there's never been anything like them. Vortex lures are made by fishermen for fishermen in the good old US of A. What do? Well, they expand the strike zone using 2 long-distance instincts, sight and sound, proven to attract fish at any depth, any condition, any fish. How do they work? Well, each lure has its own computer inside. like these electronic lighted lures with their own light source built right in. And this is the Vortex electronic fish caller. This sound emits a wave of frequency that flies through the water and triggers a predator fish's territorial instincts. With these lures, fish just don't hit your line, they attack it.
There it is. Good one. I guess when you catch a fish, you know, like I did, the very first time you use it like I did, it becomes a favorite. It's hard not to pick up. And that's the way it is with me. I constantly rely back on it.
Now, we know that sight and sound attract fish, but Vortex Lures takes that idea one step further with solid-state electronics wrapped in a hard polycarbonate that's sonic welded to be 100% watertight. These lures are so deadly that some fishing tournaments are starting to ban them. Because they're so effective, they give fishermen just like you an unfair advantage. And why? Because they believe that Vortex lighted lures are hands down the best lures for catching the trophy fish. And what about the Vortex fish caller? Well, as fishermen know, fish don't hear through their ears. They hear through their lateral lines. Lateral lines help the fish hear vibrations and sounds better than humans.
The fish caller is a lure that's extremely unique. It's the only one on the market in that it actually emits sounds while it's sitting dead still in the water.
So I'll just throw the fish caller out there and let it sit till they can locate it and just really start putting them in the boat.
You see he's right in that cabbage too. You can see those weeds, and that's another one of these things that these electronic fish callers are. They're a good plug to run along weed lines. They just plain will get those fish to get out of those weeds and come and move and hit the plug.
That's an electronic fish caller, huh, Rob?
Yeah, that's that fish caller. That's the one that makes a noise. Got a little computer in it. It makes noise that makes them mad.
Maybe you're a fisherman who's never seen electronic lures before. Think they're just a gimmick. Well, the electronics fishermen have used for years help locate the fish. But Vortex Electronics put the fish in the boat. Vortex Lures has taken that same kind of state-of-the-art technology to fishing lures themselves. They are, without a doubt, the best-kept secret in the water today.
Well, Mark and I fished together all winter there, and Mark kept a pretty good truck there, and we caught over 300 steelhead on the Vortex Lures. With the Vortex Lure down here, it's hard to keep them a secret because most fishermen down here carry binoculars with them, and they see you catching fish, and they're not catching fish. They got their binoculars out seeing why you're catching them, and they're not catching them.
Then they come over and ask.
Yeah, and then they'll come over and ask because they still don't know what it is because they've never seen one.
Vortex is a small but smart company headquartered in Montana. Not only big sky, but big fish country, where they manufacture these lures. In fact, it takes more than 100 manufacturing and quality control steps to make these lures. And the detail is incredible. Each lure is hand-painted in the colors that have been scientifically proven to reel the fish in. The Vortex electronic fish caller uses sounds that are best heard by the fish you're fishing for. And because sounds and vibrations travel much further underwater, Vortex lures attract fish faster and at a greater number than anything else. Now, maybe you're thinking that a flashing LED light underwater doesn't really look like something the fish might want to eat. But our research says something else, and that is that game fish are territorial and will strike at anything that irritates them and makes them mad. And Vortex lures swim like bait fish. This presentation drives fish crazy.
Not only is it good in morning and evening, it's great for night fishing, but it's not only good morning and evening, but it's also good deep in the water, because deep in the water you can only have flash if you have light. If you're down 15 or 20 feet, there's very little light, so not much flash except with the lighted lures.
And these are the lures that produce the picture fish that every fisherman dreams about. Every minute you spend fishing is a minute you could spend catching. And because your time is precious, Vortex makes the most of your fishing. No longer are you at the mercy of the weather or the fish. But it's only through years of research and development that Vortex Lures has come up with electronic lures that not only work with the water instead of just part of it, but are also activated by it. In fact, they're active to the tune of 600 hours in the water. Take this Vortex fish caller. The minute it hits the water, it turns on. That's what I mean when I said it works with the water. Vortex Lures use only the best materials, including these Sea-Guard hooks, to ensure a good set. What's the bottom line? Vortex Lures use modern technology to expand the strike zone farther than any other lure.
Mikä on näiden ja tuhansien muiden kalamiesten upouusi salaisuus? Se on tappavan tehokas uistinsarja, joka on joissakin kalastuskilpailuissa kielletty, koska se tuo toisille epäreilua etua. Nyt tulevat Vortexin elektroniset uistimet. Vortexin näkö- ja kuuloärsykkeitä tuottavilla vieheillä napataan kaikenlaisia kaloja niin merestä kuin sisävesistä. Nyt saat sarjan Vortexin suosituimpia elektronisia vieheitä. Ne on suunniteltu toimimaan kaikissa olosuhteissa. Ensimmäiseksi Vortexin tunnettu Little Lightning valoviehe. Muut uistimet kaipaavat auringonvaloa välkkyäkseen, mutta tämä välkkyy itse. Sehän uikin kuin oikea pikkukala. Nyt voit kalastaa pilvisellä säällä tai mutaisissa syvänteissä. Pintavesiin sopii Ultimate Minnow valoviehe. Se on parhaimmillaan matalikoissa ja rantavesissä, eikä sen vertaista löydy uistinpakistasi. Saat myös Depth Seeker valovieheen, joka on tehty syviin vesiin. Se saa syvänteissä lymyilevät vonkaleet iskemään. Lisäksi saat Fish Caller äänivieheen. Se on maailman ensimmäinen elektronisesti ääntelevä uistin. Nerokas viehe toimii heti veteen jouduttuaan. Vortexin uistimet ovat amerikkalaista laatua ja vieheiden värit ja hehkuvat silmät ovat kalamaailman kuumin uutuus. Nyt jokaisessa valovieheessä on mukana myös ääniärsyke. Kalat eivät voi vastustaa ääntä ja välkkymistä yhdessä. Soita Ostos TV:hen. Soita heti ruudussa näkyvään numeroon ja tilaa Vortex elektroniset vieheet. Ja muista, tämä ei ole kalavale.